All right, North Carolina's got a new law that protects racetracks and motorsports facilities, basically any kind of racetrack, not just drag strip, anything that is registered and classified as a racing facility. And I'm going to break it all down for you. So this almost didn't pass. The governor actually didn't even sign this, even though he signed two other bills, because this bill, HB 926, is just loaded with fat. It's like, I mean, this is number 99E-90 in Article 10. There's just so much junk in there. He didn't sign it. He let it go into law without his signature, but he signed two other bills at the same time that became law. That's how it works. Bill becomes a law. Listen to Bill sitting on Capitol Hill. But let's talk about it. So, the little bit about it, it is very small and simple. Some people were asking me about this already, and I have a rule that if I've not read it yet, I'm not going to talk about it. So I found it, I read it, and it's very simple, very well written. Maybe they could have extended it a little bit, but we'll get into it. So it is called Racing Facility and Racetrack Nuisance Immunity. Sounds nice. Immunity to being a nuisance. Basically, they can be loud. Racing facility nuisance immunity. For the purpose of this article, the following definitions apply. 1. Area of the racing facility within a 3-mile radius of the perimeter of the property. Group of properties where a racing facility is located. Racing facility, a designated area where competitive vehicle and motorsports races are conducted. The term includes the track, spectator area, garages, and any associated grounds, buildings, or anything used in the operation of the racetrack. So, the gist of it is pretty simple. Basically, the track was here first, so you're not allowed to complain about it within a 3-mile radius. A little short, honestly. 3-mile radius isn't very much. I think they could have went a little bit wider, maybe 6 miles, but this is really just for people that moved in after the racing facility was already there. I guess technically if you already lived there before this, maybe you can still complain. I don't know. Lawyers are freaking hawks. I'm sure they would take on that claim if they wanted to, if somebody was there first. But people who already lived there before the track was permitted can still sue, is what it does say when I kind of dug into it a little bit with ChatGPT. So, I like to use that as my lawyer. If you guys didn't know, the law applies to new lawsuits going forward and new tenants, which is very interesting, and it does make sense. You move there, if you moved next to a racetrack today, you deserve everything that comes with it. All the noise, all the traffic, everything, because you moved there. That's always been the argument, right? And it does say, basically, if a racetrack was built legally, which is interesting because obviously all zoning and permits and code has to be up to date. But I did find it interesting, like, why did the governor not want to sign this? What are some of the other weird things in there? There's a bunch of weird things. So, to derail from that, I guess, that's a good thing. Can't sue if you're a new tenant within 3 miles of a racetrack. Great. I don't know what curfew and stuff is. I don't know how that's all decided, because obviously curfew tends to still be an issue, but this is a great win for the North Carolina folks out there, But other weird, like, pork, I guess you would call it, that is in that bill. Hearing aids must have locked disclosures. There has to be like 12-point font disclosure on hearing aids, and the buyer must sign it. Like, the seller has to keep that signature for up to 3 years, like the signed form for up to 3 years. Weird. Surveyors can enter your property. Professional land surveyors now have the legal right to enter private property to mark corners, boundaries, and easements. No, get off my property. How about that, bud? You are not allowed to be here. They can't cause damage, but it's not trespassing anymore. Flag display rule. Cities, counties can't stop you from flying official government flags, U.S., North Carolina, or other military or even foreign governments. So you can fly a foreign government flag, which is very interesting. I don't know which foreign government everybody's flying the flag of all of a sudden. Or defacing. Off-site workplace food rules. Restaurants and food service places can now, that one's not that interesting. Model homes can ignore fire flow requirements, swimming pool law. Like, there's just so much shit in the same freaking. This is what I hate about government. 50-year power contracts. So now municipalities and joint agencies can sign electric power contracts up to 50 years long. And then no second bite stormwater rule. Regulators must give you one deficiency list only when you apply for stormwater permit. After that, they can't come back and ask for new things. So if it's not on the first list, I guess they can't change their stormwater stuff. That one's kind of nice. But again, this is how motorsports bills don't pass. Now, I didn't just read all that to show you how government is just so painfully dull and frustrating, but this is how these motorsports bills don't get passed. Because the best bill of all time, the best article in a bill will be written. It'll be like, you have the right to drag race on a drag strip. But then they'll attach it to like something else that's like, but a police officer has the right now to enter your property and kick your dog without your permission. It's like, well, I can't agree to this. And then the governor has to shoot that down. Like, this is insane that they tack these on in even the local level. I get it happens at the federal level, but gosh, the local level. This is just like the clear answer of it. I'm digressing from what this video was supposed to be, but I just got all fired up because I was reading all this, and it's just so frustrating. So dumb. Like, they all need to be legally required to do single issue stuff, right? That's the moral of the story. Single issue votes. If you can't vote one issue at a time, you're passing too many things. I'll die on that hill. But on the bright side, drag racing, circle track, motocross, drifting is now protected in a lot stronger of a way. Will this mean that getting new permits for a new racetrack is extremely difficult? Probably, because they know that once it's locked in, it's pretty locked in. But, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Congrats, North Carolina. Hopefully more states follow.